You know, it feels like we're practically drowning in data these days, right? Business sales, sports stats, scientific studies, you name it. But here's the thing. Raw information on its own is pretty much useless. It's just noise. So to turn that noise into actual, real knowledge, you need the right tools. And today, we're going to open up that essential toolkit.
Okay, so picture this. Let's say you've just started a small online store. Awesome. You're making sales every day, which is great. But when you look at the raw numbers, it's a total mess. Just a chaotic jumble of figures. It's impossible to tell if you're actually doing well or if there are any hidden patterns in there. It's just, well, it's a jumble of data.
So, this brings us to the most important question, right? How do we turn all of this chaos into some kind of clarity? This, my friends, is the absolute core of data analysis. And that whole journey from being completely confused to finally understanding what's going on, it all starts with one really simple step. All right, section 1, order and patterns. You see, the very first step in taming all that raw data is, believe it or not, surprisingly simple, but it is absolutely essential. You just have to give it some structure. And our most fundamental tool for that? It's the good old table. I mean, what is a table really? It's just an orderly way to arrange information. By putting our data into rows and columns, we're doing more than just cleaning it up. We're actually preparing it for analysis. Think of it as the foundation for everything that's about to come next. And look at that. Instantly, things are so much clearer. Just by taking those chaotic numbers and popping them into this simple table, organized by day, we've gone from a total mess to something, well, something manageable. We can actually see each day's sales without our eyes glazing over. We've created order out of chaos. Okay, so our data is neatly organized. Now we can get to the fun part. We can start asking more interesting questions like, what patterns are hiding in these numbers? And to do that, we need to make our data visual. This right here, this is the magic of visualization. When we take our store's data and turn it into a bar chart like this, the story of the week just pops. It becomes clear in a single glance. You don't have to read a bunch of numbers anymore. You can literally see that Friday and Saturday are your best sales days. Now, that is an insight you can actually do something with. So, what exactly makes a bar chart so effective? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's just a bunch of bars, or rectangles, all the same width. The only thing that changes is their length, and that length represents the value. This super simple design makes it incredibly easy for our brains to compare different things, like days of the week or different products. And the cool thing is, they're really versatile. A simple bar chart can track one thing, like our store's total daily sales. But you can also use a multiple bar chart to compare different things all at once, say crop yields across a few different towns. The principle is exactly the same. Make the comparison totally intuitive and immediate. All right, section 2. So seeing the week's performance on a chart is great, don't get me wrong. But what if someone asks you, hey, how's the store doing on a typical day? You need just one number to answer that, right? Well, for that, we need to find the center of our data. Now, the formal, kind of nerdy term for this is measures of central tendency. But don't let that scare you. It's really just a fancy way of saying we're looking for the average or the typical value. And as it turns out, there are actually a few different ways to find it, and each one has its own unique strengths. The one most of us already know is the mean. You know this one. You just add up all the values. So for us, all the daily sales, and then you divide by the number of days. It's that classic average we all learned how to do back in school. So for our online store, the mean daily sale comes out to $150. Okay, simple enough. It's a nice summary that uses every single data point. But, and this is a big but, that very fact is also its biggest weakness. Okay, but let's throw a wrench in the works. Let's imagine that one day the store gets a single, massive bulk order from a corporate client. This isn't a normal day, right? It's a total one-off, way outside the normal range of sales. In statistics, we call this an outlier. And you have to see what this one number does to our mean. Whoa, look at that. With that one huge sale, the new mean daily sale jumps all the way up to $250. But hang on a second. Think about it. Does that number really represent a typical day at the store anymore? No way! The mean has been completely thrown off by that one extreme value. Okay, section 3. So if the mean is so easily messed up by outliers, what are we supposed to use instead? We clearly need another tool, one that can give us a much better sense of a typical value, even when our data has some wild, extreme numbers in it. And this is where the median saves the day. The median is super simple. It's just the middle value when you line up all your data points from smallest to largest. That's it. By its very design, it completely ignores the crazy high or low values at either end. It just finds the true middle of the road. So here's the key trade-off you need to understand. The mean uses every single piece of data, which sounds good, but that's what makes it so sensitive to outliers. The median, on the other hand, is tough. It's totally robust against those outliers, which makes it a much better measure of a typical day whenever your data is skewed. For our store, the median would have stayed much closer to that original $150, giving us a more honest picture. And hey, there's one more tool for our kit, the mode. This one might be the simplest of all. It's just the value that shows up most often in your data. So if our store sold a ton of a particular product that cost $25, more than any other item, then $25 would be the mode. It's perfect for finding the most popular choice or the most common result. All right, section 4. We've organized our data, we've visualized it, we've found its center. But so what? I mean, who cares, right? The whole point of doing all this is to turn these numbers into action. How does our fictional store owner actually use all this stuff? Well, just look at this. Thanks to the bar chart, our store owner now knows to have more staff ready for Fridays and Saturdays. Thanks to the median, they have a realistic idea of their typical daily income for financial planning, ignoring that crazy one-off bulk order. And the mode? It told them exactly which product to feature in their marketing. See? These aren't just numbers on a page anymore. These are actual business decisions. And please, don't think for a second that these simple tools are just for beginners. The exact same logic applies in the most advanced fields out there. I mean, this quote says it all. Even with complex AI, that human ability to bring a nuanced interpretation is what really matters. Knowing why you'd pick a median over a mean in a certain situation, that's a fundamental skill, whether you're looking at sales data or building a sophisticated machine learning model. Because that really is the bottom line here. It doesn't matter if you're running a small online store or building advanced artificial intelligence. The journey from just having raw data to having real wisdom, it always starts with mastering these fundamental tools. So, the next time you're staring at a screen full of numbers, don't see chaos. I want you to see an opportunity. You now have the basic toolkit you need to start organizing